Hi, this is Dustin again, and this was going to be a series of 5 videos for my games in an OFCC tournament that we had in Vancouver, Washington. Of course, my army list is the same for all the time, so I'll just go over it quickly at the beginning of each video. My first opponent was a dwarf player. He had 20 slayers with a giant slayer, an organ gun, 15 quarrelers, 10 thunderers, I think it was 20 or 25 longbeards, a cannon up on the hill with an engineer, 25 or 23 hammerers with the dwarf lord. The BSB went in the longbeards, and he had the rune lord on an anvil, and the little tank thing he was using as a Cygor. We were allowed to bring monsters from Storm Magic to the tournament, and so Cygor was the closest thing he had for the tank, so that's what he took it as. My list quickly, going left to right, is Chariot of Slaanesh, 8 Ogres of Slaanesh with great weapons, another Chariot of Slaanesh, 18 Tzeentch Warriors with my level 2 Tzeentch Wizard, 10 Chaos Warhounds, 18 Tzeentch Warriors with the BSB and a Sorcerer Lord of Heavens, 12 Chaos Hounds, the Hell Cannon, and the Shoggoth. Oh, I forgot the Dwarf also brought in a Gyrocopter on the right. The scenario was 5 coins. There was 5 coins evenly spaced out on the field. You can see 3 because the other 2 were hid by the buildings. The terrain, we had 3 haunted mansions. All the terrain in the tournament was set, so if you had a building, it was a haunted mansion in this one. So every unit within 6 inches took d6, strength 1 hits with no armor save. It did play a kind of a key role in the game. So on to turn 1. Okay, Dwarves took first turn. He did some moving up. The Quarrelers and the Anvil combined to kill an ogre and put an extra wound on him. The Gyrocopter, seeing that he could take a coin, but then the Shoggoth would probably charge him anyways. If you ever flee with a coin, you drop a coin, decided to just reposition his Gyrocopter. His Hammerers moved up, and not a lot happened on Dwarf turn 1. Alright, Chaos turn 1. Sorry about the blurry picture, but that's what happens when you're drinking all day. So, the Shoggoth did charge a coin and pick it up and turn to face so he could see the other coin and the Gyrocopter. Ogres moved up along with everyone else. The left hounds went into the building. I lost 1 hound from each unit, a Chaos Warrior, and a wound off the Hell Cannon due to all the haunted mansions. The Rune Lord does have 3 Dispel Scrolls, so he was easily able to stop my magic the first turn. That was it for Chaos turn 1. Dwarf's turn 2. His Slayer unit moved up on top of the hill on the left. Some other positioning in the middle. Then the Gyrocopter hopped over to March Block. In the shooting phase, his organ gun fired at the ogres, did manage to kill 4 or 5 more wounds on the ogre unit. His Quarrelers shot the Chariot on the left and put a wound on it. The Cygor, or the tank, tried to drop a rock on the Chariot but only did 1 wound. The Thunderers killed some dogs on the right. In addition to the Gyrocopter, also put a couple wounds on the dogs on the right as well. The cannon fell short of killing the Shoggoth. Misfire on the bounce to fall in front of him. And then also in the shooting phase, the Anvil used the rune to move the Slayers into combat with the Ogres. They were easily able to kill them and run them down. All the Ogres did was kill the Giant Slayer out of the unit. And that was Dwarves turn 2. Alright, Chaos turn 2. In the charging phase, my left chariot charged his slayers in the flank. My right chariot failed to charge the organ gun. The dogs moved out of the building to harry the quarrelers, and then some other moving up in the center. The Shaggoth did charge the second coin to get that, and in the magic phase I was sort of successful in that I put Curse of the Midnight Wind on his Longbeards. I put Harmonic Convergence on the Hell Cannon, and then Dimensional Cascaded my Sorcerer Lord, putting Ice Shard Blizzard on the Slayers to give a -1 to hit. And that is the reason why there are so few Chaos Warriors in the center, and no General anymore. So, very successful magic phase. Horrible miscast. But the stars and the moon aligned and allowed the Hell Cannon to do a direct hit on his Longbeards and decimate the unit. Re-rolling 1s to wound when you need 3s to wound, and then he got 6s for his armor saves and have to re-roll the 6s was a very a devastating combination. The Shaggoth took a wound, and the Gyrocopter took a wound from the building when it did its thing. I think that was about it. Oh, and he started losing one Thunderer, or not Thunderer, one Hammer every phase to the building strength 1 hits from here until the game ended. So there it was Chaos turn 2. Alright, Dwarfs turn 3. Well, the Chariot won combat last turn, but didn't break the Dwarves, obviously, since they're unbreakable. But they did hold them up a turn. I was hoping to hold up one more turn for my Warriors coming into the rear, but it didn't quite work out that way. He then decided that the Hell Cannon was a serious threat and fired everything he could at it. The Quarrelers, the Handgunners, the Cannon, even the Dwarves, using the Die 6 Strength 4 rune on them to put a total of 5 wounds on the Hell Cannon. 3 of which was from the cannon when it shot through it. The last remaining Longbeards ran up to get out of the charge range of the warrior unit, and the Hammerers are preparing for a charge. And that was pretty much Dwarf's turn 3. Oh, the Gyrocopter did hop down just out of the picture on the bottom, trying to stay away from the buildings, didn't want to lose its last wound. And that ends Dwarf turn 3. Another bad picture. I'm very sorry about that. So, Chaos turn 3. His Dwarf Lord had the Master Rune of Challenge, and so he challenged my warrior unit to charge or flee. I chose charge, so I made a long 9-inch die roll charge at his Hammerer unit with my warriors. The Shaggoth charged into the flank of the Longbeard unit. The Dwarves did break my chariot and reform to face the flank of the warriors. My dogs charged the Quarrelers, which the Quarrelers beat and then ran down. In the magic phase, I Infernal Gatewayed his Hammerer unit to reduce it down to just a few models. And I believe the Hell Cannon also helped out with that unit, firing at it. The Shaggoth did a lot of damage, but the Dwarves refused to run, even though he caused like 4 wounds with the charge on the flank, and of course they were not scared of his terror either. So there is the Battle Standard Bearer and the Unit Standard left in that unit at the end of Chaos turn 3. Yep. Alright, we played one more turn before time was called, but I forgot to take any pictures because we were getting kind of rushed. The Shaggoth did finish off his Battle Standard Bearer unit and run him down, collecting a 3rd coin. His His Quarler unit charged the coin in front of the left building and got that. Meanwhile, my warriors had gotten the left coin and turned to face his Quarlers, and the last turn charged them but did not break them. And the Shaggoth charged and finished off the last of the Thunderers. In the Hammer and the Hammer unit versus the Chaos Warrior unit, the BSB lived, even though he was in a challenge with the Dwarf Lord. No wounds were being scored there, but the Chaos Warriors were steadily winning combat, but him being stubborn, he refused to run. So, and his cannon did misfire on the last turn and destroy itself. Everything added up, it was a draw, within 50 points, victory points. However, the Chaos with 4 coins to Dwarves 1 got more of the bonus points in this round. So thanks for listening to Game 1 of the OFCC tournament in Vancouver, Washington, and stay tuned for Game 2. Oh, shit.